Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Zach. Here we talk about overlanding, gear, builds, DIY, all sorts of stuff related to modifying your vehicle. Because I do so much DIY here at my place, I kind of have accumulated a fair number of tools and a bit of a workshop. And I know that sometimes DIY can seem really attainable, but a lot of times doing stuff yourself means buying tools, and oftentimes buying tools means spending money. And if you're going to spend a bunch of money on a couple projects, it may actually be worth it to just hire somebody to do it. But that being said, I tend to believe that I'll do these sorts of projects going forward. So if you're going to continue to do the projects, then the tools are worth it. And so, as many of you probably are aware, Harbor Freight has been a big supporter of my channel. Early on in my channel, I bought a fair number of things from them. My family has bought a lot of tools from them. It's just kind of been an ongoing thing. So they've been willing to support me in a lot of different ways. They've sent me wrenches to work on the vehicle. They've sent me a range of saws and drills and impact drivers to help me do a lot of different projects, whether it be building, wood things for the back of the vehicle, like a leveling platform or drawers, all the way to, cutting off a muffler or cutting other metal. And yeah, all these tools have been so helpful. Really appreciative of their support. And you can use all these sorts of tools for car projects, for tons of other stuff around the house if you're trying to do renovation projects and other things. They've also sent me a fair number of jack stands and jacks, and so that's really helpful if I'm trying to get the vehicle off the ground and do suspension work and some of these other things. And a lot of this stuff is really quite approachable price points. So I'll try and link a lot of the stuff that I use down below. I don't have an affiliate link or anything with Harbor Freight, but I'll just try and link some of these tools if you want to go check them out. Harbor Freight is able to keep a lot of these costs down by selling direct to consumer. So, you don't see Harbor Freight at Menards and Home Depot and some of these other stores. You got to go to their store. But yeah, they've got a lot of different tools and they're coming out with tons of new stuff. I had the pleasure of talking to some of the Harbor Freight engineers and marketing team over a Zoom call recently. And they were kind of talking me through some of their process, and as of late, Harbor Freight has been kind of going and looking at all the best products on the market right now and trying to design similar products that, kind of take on some of the nice features that make these products so high quality, whether that be trying to use higher grade materials than the best products on the market, longer lasting batteries, all these sorts of things. So it's kind of cool to see their approach, and they have definitely been innovating a lot lately and really developing some really high quality stuff for off-roading and just tools in general. So I'm going to give you guys a walk around of my workshop and just kind of explain some of the tools that I have and maybe some future plans. So let's jump right into it. So over in this corner, you guys typically see me standing over here often. This is slowly getting phased out actually. I had a structural engineer come over, look at this wall. Other than some electrical in the wall, it's basically pointless. It's just an insulating divider between the front garage and the rear sort of shop space, but could totally be a garage as well. So I'm slowly moving the tools off of this wall and into my big new toolbox. So I will show you that here quickly, but as of right now, it's sort of just set up as like a quick drop spot. I've got all these battery chargers mounted on the wall, and then just some other tools and miscellaneous things mounted. Got some jack stands, my my orange gloves that I love, and then yeah, I think I'll leave this set up for the time being to kind of do some electrical stuff, whether I'm doing some soldering or other things for wiring up vehicles. So that's kind of the corner here, as well as my French cleat system on this wall here. You've maybe seen this before, maybe not on the channel, but basically this system is a 45-degree angle wood piece cut, and then you can nest another 45-degree angle thing and hang it on it. So it's really nice because it's really DIY friendly, so you can build any sort of module to hold whatever you want. I built this big module to hold all my drills. And yeah, it's been kind of a handy space to store a bunch of that stuff. So, and as you walk into my shop, and you've probably been catching glimpses, I've been slowly working on the rooftop tent again, and it's got some pretty exciting updates to be shared. So be on the lookout for a new rooftop tent video coming, or I'm going to talk a lot more about the fabric and some of that process. So kind of as you walk in the door here, we've got that bench space where I stand on this side. You can maybe see the French cleats kind of in the background here. On this side, I've got sort of where all my tools are. And then in the back, I've got some storage. I've got sort of a place where a bunch of hardware stays and kind of lives and stuff like that. So, all right, well, yeah, this is kind of the view in. Just wanted to show you a quick little glimpse at the rooftop tent. And we're gonna keep on moving. I'm gonna show you the new toolbox that I just got that's holding a bunch of my tools. All right, so just kind of gonna go handheld here because it's a little easier to show some of the stuff, but this is the new Series 3 toolbox from Harbor Freight, and man, is it pretty. They've got all the black accenting on here now, which really makes it look like a modern toolbox. Some of the things that they've done here is this toolbox is a thicker gauge metal than a lot of the other toolboxes on the market. For the price point, it's basically the same as the Series 2. Maybe a teeny bit more expensive, but the only price difference is just due to the fact that Series 2 are now getting discounted. These will come in a huge range of colors and you can change the trim on them. They're also going to be releasing accessories to like hold drills in the drawers and stuff like that coming in the near future. So if you're interested in one of these, they are really heavy and they're kind of hard to you know, display in a store because they're so massive and they have so many different colors. So if you're interested in one, you can go to a store and place an order exactly how you want it spec'd out. The awesome thing is some of these deep drawers really allow you to organize all kinds of cool things. I haven't done a ton of organizing, but I do have some of these drawers, you know, starting to organize them a bit. The nice thing too is a lot of these sorts of toolboxes will either require you to close one drawer to open another, or they have like an unhooking or a latching mechanism right on the edge. But the new ones, they literally, you can grab anywhere along here. It's just filled with little tabs where you can grab your fingers and slide it to unhook one of the drawers. So that's kind of a nice new feature. This is the 72-inch model and it holds an ungodly amount of weight. So really not worried about maxing this out. On top, we've got just this little work surface that I've built so that I can continue to film my top-down stuff for the channel. A couple other things here. Got a drawer where I've started to store all of my really big combo wrenches. Gonna hopefully put some more in there. Got a new breaker bar here as well. Pretty stoked for that. In this drawer, got tons of drill bits. So this drawer is a little bit shallower. It's nice for holding all the drill bits. I don't know, we're starting to get couple of wrenches over here. I don't have a ton of, you know, these sorts of tools. Remember, I'm just a DIY guy. I don't do any of this for a living. But, you know, we've got some just wire cutters, stuff like that in here. A couple of channel locks, a couple of crescent wrenches, nothing too crazy. Still really trying to organize this. This space down here is designed for the drills. So we've got a power strip in here with, let's see, 5 outlets and a USB port and a USB-C right there. So kind of a slick little space. Will hold at least, you know, 2 of those big battery chargers in here. So that's pretty handy. I guess some guys will leave this open so that there's plenty of airflow. And then down here is a deep drawer where I guess they're probably gonna release some, you know, different accessories for holding drills and stuff like that. That's gonna be coming. Haven't actually opened this box yet. But one thing that I will show is this little ramp came inside of the tool chest and I didn't realize it, but it's to help lift it off the pallet. So if you do have one of these delivered to your house, yeah, just know that you need to toss that down there so you've got a little ramp to roll this off the pallet because it is so massive and quite heavy, I will add. All right, yeah, this corner, nothing too crazy. Just some old cabinets holding a lot of my fluids and yeah, just some random stuff for the house. Nothing too fun over there. This corner right here is full of a ton of different wood clamps stuff. I inherited this from a family member, and so this is my kind of quick attempt at organizing some of this stuff just so it's easy grab and go. Over here is my smaller Craftsman workbench that I've had for a long time. Inherited this from my dad, and yeah, it's got just some nice little features, and got a small vise here. Recently got this Hercules grinding wheel, sort of bench top setup with 2 different grinding wheels, but I want to get one of the brushes so I can clean off rusty bolts and other metal quickly. So yeah, this is going to be kind of a little metal working station, so to speak. Ooh, some diodynamic stuff. That's for the Land Cruiser. Over here, we've got just this basic shelving unit. Bought this from Menards. It was like 200 bucks. It's been really nice storage. Keep my Rome cases and traction boards on here since 7-foot garage life with 35s and the lifted 4Runner. But yeah, got a bunch of stuff over here. One thing I will link down below, this company sent me this ceiling hoist sort of winch thing for lifting up a rooftop tent into your rafters, especially if you have an 8-foot garage. Pretty slick, really good price, pretty crazy weight. Haven't got it installed because my roof rafters are actually like not strong enough to hold this. So I need to figure out some sort of way to reinforce the rafters and maybe even add some framing so that I can use that. But it's there on the shelf. I'll link it down below. Shout out to them for sending that to me. Over here, just got my trusty single zone Iceco fridge. This is what I use in the 4Runner with my DIY setup. This is a slide that I have that's for the Rome 105 liter. And this slide is a broken one, but I think it was for one of my old Set Power fridges way back. Maybe you've seen it on the channel. Over here is just a bit of a modification landing zone. I need to really reorganize some of the space over here, but got some different wiring products and other things. There's different stuff for the house, but also stuff for the Land Cruiser kind of over here. So this is kind of the ugly space of the garage. And then got an air compressor from my wife's grandpa and a couple of the jacks. There's the off-road jack and the typical floor jack, some of the jack stands, that sort of stuff. But here's kind of another look at that French cleat wall. So got all the drills here stored. Been using the angle grinder and this extended arm a lot lately. Also, this little mini, I don't know, small like leaf blower. I don't really know if it'd be called a leaf blower, but this little mini blower is really handy for drying your car off when you wash it. And it's got like a rubber end on it, so it doesn't really scratch metal. So yeah, it's pretty slick. Recently they sent me this oscillating tool as well. Been using this a lot for cutting sheetrock and small wood trimming. Yeah, really handy tool. And yeah, so that's kind of the bulk of the garage. Got a couple Land Cruisers over here, Hot Wheels. Got to keep those on display. Yeah, I guess I'll do a little sneak peek at the tent. So the tent, we've got a couple things in here. I've got this like plastic roll here for, you know, basically making the windows rain tight if I wanted in the tent. Not really sure if I'm going to actually end up doing that, 'cause it sounds like a lot of work and I don't know if I'll really use it. We've got this really thick pet resistant screen, which is super heavy duty. Should still block the bugs, but I want this to be, you know, basically bulletproof so that if Otis decides to scratch the door or whatever, I'm not all of a sudden pulling my tent off of the vehicle and like redoing a bunch. So that's kind of the goal with using this really thick material. Kind of come over here, you can see the tent is starting to take a bit of shape. It's starting to look pretty good. So we've got this big door here. It's a 60-inch opening, so you know, basically 5 feet, and we're gonna have 3 big doors with screens, and it's gonna be pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited, and yeah, I'll share more about this in its own dedicated video, but figured I'd just give you a little sneak peek. One other thing I forgot to mention is, you know, I've got some wall space on either side of this. Cool thing about these tool benches is there's like matching lockers and other things that really tie in nicely with this, and the Series 2 and Series 3 stuff is cross-compatible, so you're able to hook them up to each other. And yeah, overall it's a really sweet product, and it's kind of one step above a lot of the consumer grade toolboxes. So for the price, you're getting a pretty high quality product, and yeah, but it's not, you know, quite on the same level as their Icon line or, you know, comparing it to a Snap-on toolbox or anything like that. It's not really supposed to compete with one of those, but for the price point and the quality, it's a pretty insane personal, you know, toolbox, but definitely I've really liked it. This slate color is really nice. It's sort of a grayish, dark blue sort of color, maybe just dark gray. It's kind of hard to really do the color justice, but I really like how it looks. It's really sharp, and hopefully I can get one of their cabinets that match this to throw a bunch of my fluids in and get rid of this old cabinet here, but we'll have to see how all that goes. But yeah, that's the bulk of it. I'll link all this stuff down below. And yeah, this has kind of been a brief shop tour. Hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching. That is going to be a wrap for this video. I appreciate all the support. If you don't mind subscribing and liking the video, that helps me out a lot. This is sort of a not so typical video compared to the videos I do on the 4Runner or Land Cruiser. But I just wanted to show you some of my tools and, you know, kind of for you all to see a bit of the behind the scenes of what I use to really get all these projects off the ground. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.